All right, so this is just a quick video on how to remove the handle and head from your Ignis Bubble Poi. First off, you're going to need to get a small flat-headed screwdriver. You want something that's got a thin tip to it because you're going to need to get between this and the cap right there. So look for that seam, and then that should pop off, and you'll most likely have washers in there, and you'll probably have to take that out one at a time until you expose your bearing if you have one. Usually you can just push up like that and it'll pop out the top, but if for some reason you can't get it to disconnect, just use a pair of needle nose and give it one push. Next, you're going to want to move your bearing down just a little bit, and then hit this with a lighter until it melts. And then be careful not to get this on your skin. And as a matter of fact, you might want to use something like this. Once this is melted, you should just be able to pull that right off the top, and then the handle will come off. Now on the head, it's kind of just brute force to pull this out. And you got to be careful. I think one of mine that got messed up was because of doing this, because when you pull it out, it'll want to collapse this ball. So try not to do it where your LED strips are. So I'm going to go right in the middle right there and either do it like that, or in this case, I'm going to try it with needle nose. And it pops off just like that. And then you do the same thing with the cap on the end to pull that out. Now when you're putting it back in, you're going to start kind of the same way you pulled it out, where you're pulling one side out at a time. You're going to put one side in. And the best way to do this, you can use a pair of pliers to do it, but if you don't want to really mess up your bearing, so I wouldn't recommend putting anything metal against this. If you have a piece of wood, like a door jamb or something like that, just stick this up against that and then push it in, and it's kind of a pain to get in there, but once you start getting it worked in at least halfway, then you can, like that, and then you can probably use something like this to push it in the rest of the way. So yeah, it's kind of a pain in the butt, but that's how you do it.